Hello and welcome to Goa 365 Sports Encounters. I know it's a little late, but it's better late than never, as we all say. And the quarterfinals stage of the FIFA World Cup 2020 is over, and the tournament is slowly reaching its climax. There have been a lot of surprises. There have been actually teams which have been able to work as teams have moved forward. I would like to give you a general thing about where we are right now before we leave it open to our distinguished panel, which I will introduce now. First is Amrit Murari. He is presently the head of the technical analysis at FC Goa. Amrit, welcome to our show. Kabir Shetty is presently a senior manager at FC Goa, looking after football development and scholarship. Very important given Goa's status. Kabir, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Mahesh Kamkar is a very senior journalist. Is the president of the Sport Journalists Association of Goa. Mahesh Bab, welcome to our show. In this particular avatar, otherwise he comes as a political journalist many attacks. Like what I would like to just generally, brief it, give you a small brief, and then I'll leave it open to you, Amrit. Defending champions France and Argentina are in the semis. They, along with Croatia and Morocco.
Yeah.
Now, Morocco is the first team, African team, I think, in the semis. And Croatia, work ethics, brilliant. They have beaten, I don't know, the favorites of the in Goa especially, to reach there. France defeated England 2-1. Morocco stunned Portugal, also a favorite of many Goans. And in the first semi-finals, Argentina will take on Croatia on Tuesday. And in the second semi-finals, Morocco will face defending champions France. I think this defending champions, this is I think only 2 or 3 teams who have moved to the semis. I think Italy.
I think there was a curse, so the defending champions never lead the group stage.
Yeah.
So I think this is the first time since Pele's team that a team can do back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
No?
Yes.
54.
Before that, Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Italy.
Brazil in the year 1958 and 62 consecutively they have won.
Since then,
before that, Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprisingly, France lost the first game.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 1-0 to Tunisia.
Yeah.
And that was like, and Messi, with Messi, we will discuss Messi and with his dream.
Yeah.
So okay. So I'll start off the official discussion. So Amit, give us a general what we've reached till now and how and the general whatever analysis as of now, up till now, whatever the games have happened in brief, and then we'll then Kabir and
I think this has probably been the most competitive World Cup we've had in a long time. Normally, there would be some favorite teams, top 8 teams, you would be able to pick it out. But this year there have been quite a few surprises, whether it's coming out of the group stages or even after that in the knockouts. So nobody would have expected a Morocco or an African team to be so far. So other than probably Morocco as a surprise, it's been a very even tournament. So we've seen games that are between teams that are generally almost all matches were decided in a 1-goal margin or penalties or some tiebreakers or some situation like that. So it's a very tight tournament, and the 4 teams that are still in the tournament are probably the 4 best teams in terms of togetherness, in terms of chemistry, in terms of how hard they work for each other. So those are the 4 teams that we see today, the most, and probably the teams that are most complete and with the least weaknesses.
I don't know if half of Goa will agree with you, especially given Brazil. Yes, Kabir.
Yeah. So like as Amrit said, I think having 2 what you would call flair teams in Argentina and France, and then 2 underdog teams in terms of Morocco and Croatia, I think the World Cup set up beautifully well from an expansive football point of view and a very tactical sort of view of the game. I think Morocco and Croatia have done extremely well to use their resources to their maximum capabilities, and that's been great to watch. I think Morocco surprised a lot of people in terms of the kind of players that they had. There was a stat that came out in a single game. They had 7 players who crossed 32 kilometers an hour in one of the games.
That's
and
quick.
Yeah,
That's
so
quick because
so
I
that's
think Mbappe is 35.
Yeah, so that's-
and he's supposed to be the quickest.
yeah, and when you have 7 players doing that on a pitch
It's
for
amazing.
a single team, it makes a big difference.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so in that, so while you have Argentina and France who can still rely on maybe individual players in terms of Mbappe, Messi, but they have very good teams behind them. Croatia and Morocco have been all 11, all 15, all 18, including the support staff. Everyone has been part of this journey for them. So it should be a great semi-final and final coming up.
महेश कितें म्हणटा तूं कोण जिखपाची आतां?
As far as this World Cup is concerned, I think most of the outcome is surprising. Many in the preliminary round, we can see the Saudi Arabia
Yes.
beat Argentina,
Yes.
which is in now semi.
Semis, yeah.
Yes.
So many surprising. Even now the Argentina,
And Tunisia beat France.
yeah, Tunisia beat France. Apart from that, even South Korea is also performed well.
Superb.
Japan.
Yeah, they beaten Portugal by
Yeah.
2-1. So many surprising. This World Cup is all fans all over the world is enjoying a good football,
Yeah.
and will be remembered for the surprising results.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, before I open the discussion little more, I'll just like to give the way how France has reached the semis. In the group stage, they beat Australia 4-1, beat Denmark 2-1. They lost to Tunisia 1-0 in the round of 16. They beat Poland 3-1 and in the quarters they beat England 2-1.
Yeah.
Now France will be facing Morocco. Okay, now Morocco's road to the semis. They drew with Croatia 0-0. They beat Belgium 2-0. They beat Canada 2-1. Okay. Then they beat Spain. Now that's a big surprise.
Yeah.
We have to discuss this particular thing because Spain also is a good,
Yeah.
tough team, not just good, very
Yeah.
tough team. Yeah. They beat Spain 3-0. Then they beat Portugal, which is an even bigger this with Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
probably his last
Last World Cup for
World
sure.
Cup.
Yeah.
That we can discuss. Yeah. And now the second semi-finals, Argentina versus Croatia. No, this is the first semi-final actually. Okay. Now Argentina's road to the semis, they lost to Saudi Arabia 1-2. Mahesh was just mentioning that. They beat Mexico 2-0. They beat Poland 2-0. Then they beat Australia 2-1, and they beat the Netherlands 4-3. Now that was an amazing game.
Yeah.
That was really amazing. That was too much. Croatia's road to the semis. The group stages, they drew with Morocco, they beat Canada, they drew with Belgium, they beat Japan. Japan we have to discuss because that's a
Yeah.
team for the future. Yes, and then they beat Brazil. Now that I don't know. I don't know what must have happened in Brazil and in Goa. Yeah, so this is the way they have gone. So now, what I'm saying is like, no, so since I brought these names up, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, now Messi, Lionel Messi, all these guys, what is it like? Was their contribution good enough? But these are the last games.
I think it clearly shows that football's grown massively. It's no more where a single talisman can win the game for you. I think it's an important factor on how the game is changing. Well, you can be as great as Ronaldo, for example, but you still find yourself on the bench trying to help
And your team wins.
Yeah, and your team wins, and then when you come on, unfortunately, you're not able to do as much as you should. Neymar, arguably, I think had a better World Cup than Cristiano did, but in terms of I think individually trying to help the team, the entire team, they were unlucky to a certain degree to go out on penalties, but it is what it is. You need everyone to be able to score. There was a little bit of a surprise that Neymar decided to not take the penalty, still the fifth one. He was supposed to take the fifth, but they lost before that penalty was taken. So should he have taken the first? Should he have stepped up? So there's all of those factors. Yeah.
Before that, he had scored.
Yeah,
he just scored.
And it was in extra time, no?
Yeah.
After that, they equalized.
So
it was his bad luck.
Yeah.
As far as his efforts is concerned, he has contributed for the team.
For sure.
Yeah.
But he could not make it.
Yeah.
But this time, Amrit, the Brazil team was pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think
Not that it
Very
was
good, very good
you know,
squad,
just
yeah.
no journeyman as such.
I mean,
it is a very complete squad. I think
Yeah.
they had everything, but it happens when you play a team like Croatia. You know, like I mentioned, that we're seeing World Cups in general are favor the defensive team. You don't see many teams, even Spain and Brazil. The last time they won the World Cup, they were winning games 1-0, 2-0, 1-0. So the team that just manages to get over the line, those are the teams that end up being champion teams. So Brazil this time, I thought probably one of the most complete squads. Like they were pretty much every position. They had two world-class talents, and they have the last. You know, Neymar is that last great individual footballer. So it's bad luck on his part, maybe, that he is not going to, probably the best player ever to not win a World Cup, Neymar, and on another day.
And Ronaldo also.
And
Yeah.
Neymar, I think Neymar is having another chance in.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see because that Brazil squad keeps creating.
Because if Ronaldo is playing, Messi is playing at this age, why not
But
Neymar?
if you see Brazil, they have so many substitutes.
Yeah,
who are
substitutes.
The competition is
Competition is
extremely
there.
high in
who can
Brazil.
go
So
ahead.
yeah. So in that situation,
And since the football is improving and this World Cup has shown, the
Yeah.
new teams are
of
defeating.
course, yeah, makes a big
This is
difference.
a point we need
Yeah.
to discuss. The improving means what I would think they will be much quicker. So, but before that, we got sidetracked on Ronaldo because he was talking about Neymar. But Ronaldo, like, what do you think? He's over. It's
I think
at the club level. What is the scene?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like internal combustion.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it looks like that. I think the latest rumors are that he's going to be playing in Saudi Arabia now.
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is, if you compare that to European leagues, it's pretty.
It's a step down
It's
in
very-
terms of competition for him, but yeah,
So I mean, like, he's okay. He's probably one of the world's best players of all time.
Yes.
His legacy is incredible. He's won everything except the World Cup. But I think over the last 2 years, maybe things haven't been going well for him. And those have had an effect on his performance also. So he's not played matches for his club. So expecting him to come to the World Cup and be
Yeah.
the star was unlikely.
yeah.
It was never going to happen. So I'm not surprised to see this happen, but I was very surprised to see that even the Portuguese coach felt that it was time to drop him.
drop him. Yeah.
I think that sends a big statement
That
about.
is huge.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
massive,
actually
yeah.
huge.
Yeah. it's,
For a World Cup, his last World Cup,
Yeah.
not putting him on. No,
But the thing is, when you have players that come in and do the job,
Yeah,
and
the
do it-
21-year-old did the job.
came in and scored a hat trick.
Exactly.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah,
It makes a
that's-
very big difference. So in that point, you actually look at the fact that
It's Ramos, no? Ramos.
Ramos
But he
Ramos
couldn't
came.
make in the pre-quarter.
Yeah.
He was given chance in the
Yeah.
beginning, and Ronaldo came after that,
Yeah.
after second half,
Yeah.
in the 51 minutes something.
51
no?
minutes. Yeah.
substitute.
Yeah, because of that, maybe some confusion, maybe some tussle is going internally, and that has affected the
of
Portugal
course, I
team.
think
It
over
looks like that only.
Over the last 2
Yeah.
years, as Amrit said, I
Because
think he's-
earlier matches, no, in the beginning of this tournament, no, Ronaldo has given
Yeah.
good outcome, and because of that, Portugal has proceeded
Yeah.
in the upcoming matches. And last two matches, he was in the first half. He was on the benches.
yeah.
That was not that affected, morally affected. And as per his talent, no, we have seen the current live matches. He had not performed
Yeah.
like that. So that
But I
had
think it's-
affected.
This is what I'm saying. The fans.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ronaldo should have come for the match.
Yeah.
This is what they were saying.
If he had played right from the beginning, no, the result would be different.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh, you have
of
this
course,
discussion for the next 4 years.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know.
Because he could still decide to play the next one. You never know. You really never know with him.
It's very doubtful. But anyway, see.
He's around 39 now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right.
38 now, yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe tough. It's tough.
Mm.
Especially when like we move on to that now. Ronaldo, yes, maybe we'll see him in India sometime.
I mean, we want to. It'll be great, of course, to have someone as big as him and with everything that he's achieved in the game, of course. But in terms of from a development standpoint, I mean,
Doubtful.
yeah, I hope not. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So now, tell me now, we are going to be seeing France versus Morocco semi-final 2 and first one Argentina versus Croatia.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have to say about that? I want to go back to the previous games a little bit specifically a little later. But this, what do you think about these finals?
So I think Croatia Argentina is going to be I think it's going to be attack versus defense to a certain point. I think Croatia will sit back and do what they do, which is strangle the game out, and then hopefully try and hit something on the counter. And it'll be great to watch what Argentina's reply to that will be. More of the ball, more movement. It'll be great to see what they can come up with Alvarez up front, with Messi on the ball so much more. It should be an exciting game from that standpoint.
But yeah, okay. Before I move on, we'll take a small commercial break. See you on the other side. Welcome back. Yeah, Amrit, I would like to say now, Argentina also has got a pretty solid defense. It's not that see earlier Argentina, many of the defenders were like basically hitmen, but this time they're pretty organized defense. So will the counter work unless they get frustrated, desperate?
I don't think so. I think it'll be like the last few matches Argentina's played, or like the Saudi Arabia match that we spoke about earlier, where it's one team attacking, the other team defending. But in situations like this is when Argentina have struggled. So against Saudi Arabia, they were not able to find the match-winning goal. Similarly, in the last 30 minutes in the quarterfinal against Netherlands, after Netherlands decided to defend their own goal and not attack too much, Argentina, they created chances, but they were all from long distance shots. They were not able to create anything clear cut. Messi was not involved in the game. So I think if Croatia choose to play a very deep defense, it might suit them. It might nullify some of Argentina's strengths. And if the game goes to extra time, I think Croatia will win. Because I don't know what magic it is in that team, but after 90 minutes, suddenly they get energy. Suddenly they start running around, and they start winning games from there. So it'll be a tight game. I think Argentina, if they can do it in 90 minutes, it's. But if it goes beyond that, that's Croatia.
That's Croatia time.
What do you say?
As far as first semi-final is concerned, between Croatia and Argentina, I think at the moment Lionel Messi is in good form, and the Di Maria and his all colleagues in touch with him, and passes and all through is going in a nice way. So the good chance for the Croatia, but the speed and all they have to topple. So the experience versus speed, this match will be that in that way. And as far as Morocco and France is concerned, France is having good forward players like Mapi, you said, Mapi and another. And Morocco, all their talented players are depend on speed. The passes and all, everything is in such a way that it's very difficult to tackle them. So this both matches we can say a surprise result may come. And we can say that Morocco has already done a history. They make through in this semi-final and make another history.
To the final,
maybe. But the chances are like that because this World Cup is all giving surprising result. So anything can be happen because the football is progress in such a way that new teams are turning to the big football.
Of course.
The powerhouses.
Football powers.
Yeah, but see, before I go to France and Morocco, I want to come back to Argentina and Croatia. Now, what I was saying is that I agree. I agree in a way with Amrit's statistics. Says what he says, and he's an analyst anyway. So what I'm saying is, but see, Argentina, that are they tough? Because Croatia is a tough team.
Yeah, and
Are they
Argentina's got some
tough?
fighters. They've
Yes,
definitely
I
got
know,
some
but
fighters.
as a team,
Yeah,
are they tough? You think?
I definitely think they are. I think it did. They showed both of those sides against the Netherlands.
Yeah,
They
Netherlands,
took
okay.
2-goal lead. They sort of sat back. The game came back and bit them. They found a way back. Okay, through penalties, but it was extremely important penalties. They had their goalkeeper step up. They had all their goal scorers take it. It was big. So I think mentality-wise, physicality-wise, I think they've lasted. They've done everything that they need to. So I definitely think Argentina is up for it, and I think they're all playing for one man. So.
No, I'm not going to let you off so easy on this. Yeah, what I'm saying is, see, now I totally agree with Amrit on this. See, football is football, right? Now we had the old Italian style. They would strangle you, and then they would like. This is something on a more polished version which Croatia does.
Yeah.
They are better technically. They just don't go for you because then you'll probably get thrown out.
Yeah.
But that strangle, no, these flair teams have never till date succeeded in breaking those shackles. You go through the World Cups.
Yeah.
1982, like I was telling you, there was one of the like from that time the teams had struggled, and those teams were like great. Those guys were all wizards there at that time. They have struggled. They have struggled. So you feel that something is going to change. Strategy has changed, no doubt. Of course. But what do you feel?
For me, if I had to pick, I think I'd agree with Amrit in that terms that if Argentina need to win it, they need to win it within 90. Yeah, because Croatia completely, as he said, I think a completely different beast after 90 minutes. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they just conserve the energy, and then when you get tired, then
it's an interesting turn. Yeah, they've tried something that they've repeated from the last World Cup, which is they played on very similar lines the last World Cup, and they were extremely successful with it.
Yes.
They did have a target man last time. They had Mandzukic, who was their target man last time. They don't have that now, so they're a little more mobile up front. But it's a similar model, and it seems to work. So
yeah, and the one thing I'd say about I agree about Croatia, but the one thing about Argentina is this year specifically, their mental strength seems to be something else. Because there was against Netherlands, there was a lot of gamesmanship as well. And especially during the penalties, and it was actually the Argentines who were cool and composed. It's not something you think of when you think Argentina. You mention the fiery team. So they are able to channel themselves in the right places, mentally very strong. And I think I follow them on social media and things like that. So I feel like they have the belief of all the teams, France as well, but Argentina, I think every single member of that team believes they've already won the World Cup. It's just a formality for them. So with that kind of attitude, I think
they're pretty strong.
they'll be hard to beat.
Mahesh, what do you say?
My friend rightly says, overconfidence should not be there. But Argentina players now, all they are taking in a polite way, and they think on upcoming plan. Because after after taking 2-0 lead, they were equalized by the Netherlands. Netherlands were fighting team. They have good spirit. Even their goalkeeper was a tough one to finish him for as far as goal is concerned. So the experience, I already said, experience will count here, and there is chances that Argentina will go through in the final.
That is what I mean. That's what basically is what the pundits are saying. But what I'm saying is that it's. I don't think it's that simple.
After all, luck is also concerned.
There's a huge amount of luck.
This is the most even World Cup, I think I started saying that.
Which is very surprising, no? Given
and a lot of people now talking about the conditions also.
As we have said, if they finish within the 90 minutes, then it will be better for them.
What are you saying, Kabir?
No, and overall, I don't think one of the things that hasn't been discussed has been the conditions that the World Cup has been played in. Like, so for example, yes, I know it's been air-conditioned stadiums, but it's still, you're playing in Middle East during this period, all of that, and that is actually shown in some of the results. So if you look at Japan, the Asian players are a lot more conditioned to playing in these conditions compared to the rest of them. Yeah, of course, as I said, I think the comeback to that is the air-conditioned stadiums, but it is the fact that all of this did aid in changing the way the World Cup has been played. Like a lot more teams in terms of who was more suited to it. Yeah, Croatia being the outstanding, but if you look at it now, the first set of results came through with teams that were more conditioned to it, who were more suited to it. So yeah.
No, probably, but also I don't know. Maybe it's like time to open it up a little bit. As in the gap between the flair players, Neymar or Cristiano Ronaldo, and the guys who are like work ethic, speed, strategy. It's coming. You know,
The gap is a lot closer now. Yeah.
It's like borderline almost. You guys agree?
Yeah. I think it's modern day football now. I think it's a lot more process driven.
And then analysis, and planning and strategy.
Yeah. So if you're in a particular position, coaches will already tell you when you get here you should do this.
Yeah.
And from a young age, so that's just built into their head. So you don't see like that creativity, that spark that used to be there. Like back in the day, I was too young to see this, but having seen videos, Maradona and Pele, they used to do things that nobody else had done on the pitch. Now kind of football is figured out a little bit, so coaches and analysts know already what is the best solution to different parts of the field. So and they teach that to the players, and the players do that. And the thing that is changing is how fast they start doing things. So now, since you have to pass here and shoot there and pass here, players are already, before they get the ball itself, they know that I want to pass there and this thing. So the speed of the game just keeps going up. So you don't see that raw creativity, that genius on the pitch anymore, but you do see like the speed of the game and the intensity of the actions going
much faster,
much higher.
Okay, guys, we'll have to close this particular episode. It's been interesting, but I want to in the next episode I want to discuss more about the teams. We have the team, so we'll discuss about in the finals and this. So I mean, it's been interesting. Little inconclusive. Besides, like advice to Argentina, finish it off in 90 minutes. Besides that, we still have to go to France and think. Yeah. So keep watching. Thanks, guys, and keep watching Goa 365.